All right, today we're going to dive deep, like really deep, right inside your own body. We're going to explore the incredible hidden engine that's powering every single part of you, cellular metabolism. So let me just start by asking you a question. What is it that powers everything you do? I mean everything, from thinking a thought to moving a muscle to your body healing a simple cut. Where does all that energy actually come from?
Well, the answer isn't some far-off concept. It's happening right this second inside the trillions of microscopic factories that make up, well, you. Just try to picture each of your cells as its own bustling, busy factory. And today, we're going to take a look inside.
So let's get right to it. What exactly is this internal engine? What do we even mean when we use the word metabolism? You know, in the simplest terms, metabolism is just the sum total of every single thing those cellular factories are doing. It's all the chemical reactions, all the building up, all the breaking down, all the energy management that keeps you alive and kicking.
Now, this massive job is basically split between two teams that are complete opposites, but they have to work together perfectly. Think of it like a demolition crew and a construction crew. One breaks things down, the other builds things up. Let's start with the demolition crew.
First up, let's meet that demolition crew. This side of your metabolism is called catabolism, and its entire job is deconstruction, but for a very, very important reason.
Want you to imagine taking apart a really complex piece of machinery. You're not just destroying it, you're carefully salvaging all the raw materials, and most importantly, you're releasing the energy that was holding it all together. That is exactly what catabolism does inside your cells.
So catabolism takes the large molecules from the food you eat and just shatters them into smaller pieces. This demolition process releases a whole bunch of energy, and the cell is smart. It captures that energy in a special molecule called ATP. The best way to think of ATP is like the cell's universal, rechargeable battery. It's the power pack.
So, the main things to remember about catabolism are, it breaks large molecules down, and it releases energy. That's what that scientific term exergonic means, energy out. This process creates that ATP fuel, charging up the cell's batteries. This is what powers you through a workout, giving you that immediate source of energy.
And this isn't some abstract theory, you know? It's happening constantly. When you digest a meal, that's catabolism. When your muscles need a quick burst of energy, they use a process called glycolysis to split sugar. And when you're just breathing, you're fueling cellular respiration to squeeze every last drop of energy from your food. Okay, so our demolition crew has provided all this energy and all these raw materials. Now it's time to meet the other half of the team, the construction crew, also known as anabolism.
Anabolism does the exact opposite of catabolism. It takes all those small, salvaged building blocks, kind of like Lego bricks, and it uses energy to assemble them into new, large, complex structures that your body actually needs to function.
And where does it get the energy for all this construction? Well, from those very same ATP batteries that catabolism just finished charging. This is the constructive side of your metabolism, and it is completely dependent on the energy that the destructive side provides.
So to summarize, anabolism, it builds complex things up from simple parts, and it uses energy to do it. This is called an endergonic process, energy in. It spends the ATP fuel that catabolism created, and this is absolutely vital for things like growth and repair.
You see anabolism in action all the time. When your body makes new proteins to build muscle, that's anabolism. When it stores extra sugar as glycogen in your liver for later, that's anabolism too. And in the plant world, photosynthesis is pretty much the ultimate example, building food right out of sunlight.
So, we have demolition and construction. One side releases energy, the other one uses it. How can these two opposites possibly work together in harmony? Well, it turns out it's a perfect balancing act.
And this really illustrates the relationship perfectly. Catabolism and anabolism are like breathing. You can't only inhale, you have to exhale. One process fuels the other in this continuous, life-sustaining cycle. They're totally codependent.
This table just lays out the beautiful opposition here. Look at this. Catabolism's main job is to break molecules down. Anabolism's is to build them up. In terms of energy flow, catabolism releases energy and makes that ATP. Anabolism uses that energy, so it needs the ATP. You see it in the examples, digestion versus making new proteins. The outcome is a perfect mirror image. One gives you smaller molecules plus energy, the other gives you larger molecules and growth.
So if you take away just one thing, let it be this.
Catabolism is the crew that provides both the fuel and the parts. And anabolism is the crew that takes that exact same fuel and those exact same parts to build and repair everything your body needs to survive and to thrive.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about microscopic cells and factories, but let's zoom out for a second. Why does any of this tiny scale work actually matter to you in your daily life?
Seriously, think about it. This constant cycle of breaking things down and building them back up again isn't just a biology lesson. It is the fundamental process that drives pretty much everything you do.
I mean, whether it's the energy you have to go for a run, the way your skin heals over a cut, or even just the thoughts that are firing in your brain right now, it is all powered by this beautiful metabolic balance. It dictates how you use food, how you grow, and how you heal.
And that is precisely why keeping this system in balance is so critical for our health. Because when that balance gets thrown off, it can lead to some really serious health problems. Honestly, understanding metabolism is fundamental to understanding health itself.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Your metabolism, this constant, dynamic balance, isn't just on autopilot. The food you eat, the exercise you do, those are choices that directly influence this incredibly delicate balance. So the question is, how will you choose to tip the scales today?